Next, we're going to cover how to protect your PC from a Windows 10 standpoint. This video is going to cover Windows Defender and Windows Firewall, how to turn it on and off, what to look for, how to get there, that type of thing. As always, these URLs up here, how to get to the Microsoft support site and to this exact page, will be at the top of the description of this video. All right, let's jump into this. Windows 10 has added yet another iteration of Windows Defender. Windows Defender's been on and off love affair with the Windows system for a long time. It seems like they got something a little bit right here. I don't see as many problems with it, at least from my personal standpoint. There's been years past where you had to completely shut it down and go with a different provider like AVG or Avast or something like that as your antivirus. So let's take a look of how do we get to Windows Defender. How do we even know if it's turned on? Okay, they have a kind of a two-step process here. If you have this this search box right here, I know it wasn't there in the earlier versions of Windows 10, but everybody should be there or getting there by now. I'll actually take you through the route they show you here, but then I'll show you an easier route. Maybe let's do the easier route first. So for Windows Defender, you just type in Windows Defender, and you can see it already popping up on here. And the easiest thing to do is just to click on the settings here, and we'll see if it's turned on or not. Right here is where you'll notice if your antivirus and malware, anti-malware protection is turned on. Let's go ahead and open up Windows Defender. Windows Defender protects your PC from viruses that may have gotten on your hard drive or inadvertently installed by your children or your Russian neighbor. You can take a look here and see that real-time protection is turned on. All the virus and spyware definitions are up to date. When the last time scan was done, you can set it to quick, which is just going to do a cursory look for antiviruses in the normal spots on your hard drive. Otherwise, you can tell it to select full, and it'll cover, like if you've got multiple hard drives installed, it'll go and romp through those and see if there's any definitions in there that it needs to quarantine. Or you can do a custom one, like if you just want to simply scan a USB drive before you start accessing it. This is a good spot to do that. And it has the update when the spyware definitions were last updated. Antiviruses or viruses are always being generated by, you know, the local hack on the street, or your friendly government, or your not so friendly government. And a lot of this, my personal opinion, is what prevents antivirus software makers from creating their own viruses. So keeps them in business. Somebody's got to do it. All right, so on your history, you can go here and look and see what, if anything, was quarantined. Quarantine simply means that it may have found something a little suspect and has been put in its own little sandbox, and shouldn't hurt your PC. That's why they say items that were prevented from running but not removed from your PC. Let me see if we've got anything. I haven't ever looked. So no, nothing here, but I'm sure we would get an all-out DEFCON 1 alert if it did find something. So how do we turn this off? That's the next thing. And should we? Well, maybe you should if you're having problems with internet connectivity. I cover that in another video, and I'll put it at the end of this one, that it's one of the last steps they suggest. If you're not able to get to a website, there might be something in Windows Defender that has gotten corrupted and is preventing you from doing that. And sometimes it might be doing it for good reasons if you're being redirected to, say, an illegitimate website. So we see that everything's green here because I'm going to show you when I turn this off what happens. So I turn it off, give it a second. Oh my gosh, virus protection is off. let's take a look and see what happened. Okay, now we're really red. So Windows Defender got the mumps and has turned bright red on us and really wants to be turned back on. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. So it's simple as that. This is actually a lot easier than the way it used to be. It's fairly easy to get to, and kind of, if you don't have to, if you never had to think about it, that's the way antivirus should be. It's just installed. Hopefully, it's protecting your computer, and you can move on with life. Okay, I'm going to do the route that they showed you here. So for, I guess this one, they want you to choose the firewall. Let's do that. You can certainly type Windows Firewall into your Cortana search box, Windows Firewall, and pull up that for me is always the easiest thing now. I just think, okay, firewall, type in Windows Firewall, put in Windows in front of everything, and it's pretty much going to get you to the spot that you need to be. It takes you right to the control panel, which is exactly what they're showing you to do here. But since this is a video on what Microsoft is telling you to do, let's go over here. We go over to Start, which is the little blue little window in the bottom left-hand corner. Click on it. Click on Settings. You'll see the little wheel there. And you will go to, let me shrink this down so I can get back over here and follow it exactly. Control panel, and I didn't pick the right thing, so let's go back over here. Let's do this. Well, settings, File Explorer. Okay, so maybe they got a little something screwed up here. A Start button, then select Windows System. That's not showing us there, but let's blow this up here. Make this full. Update and security, and you can see this is another route for Windows Defender here to get to the same spot. Here's Windows Update. I'm actually not seeing where. Okay, go to, I'm going to fight through this here. Start button and then select Windows System. Let's see. Well, the heck with this. Let's just go. Let's just power through this. Let's just say Windows Firewall. Okay. This gets us to the same spot. Our control panel home looks like this, and so we can get there one of half a dozen ways. I just showed you a real quick way of doing it, and you can see that we can turn our firewall on or off here. Of course, it's not recommended, and in another video I talk about this is one of the steps that if you're having wireless network issues, they suggest as one of the last things that you do to kind of narrow the issue down is turning off your firewall temporarily. And so that's what you do, and we get this pop-up out of our notification menu over here that you have disabled the firewall and it's leaving you vulnerable and all that good stuff. So Windows Firewall is good. You can get in there. There's a lot of settings that you can change in there, different ports you can block, that type of thing. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. It's easy enough to do. Just go back to your original settings. They should be grayed out, so you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to uncheck anything. Whenever you turn it off, it'll turn it all off. And simply turn it back on. That should actually be on now. And hit OK. You can see we're back in the green now. And I hope this was a little bit helpful, and I hope you're not having any network issues. Thanks.